Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Man, We're Too Old for This, here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I'm your host, the experienced some call Jason, and with me today is...
The Blurred Dawn of the Veil, the Todd Voth.
CDL-113, the droid you're looking for.
And the token exercise enthusiast, Tarky.
And today we're going to be talking about the conclusion of Invincible, well, first season of Invincible, over on Amazon Prime. Just a warning up front, talking about the conclusion, of course, means this is going to be spoiler-filled. You have been warned.
No, we're going to talk about the whole series and not give anything away.
It was great.
Which is about all we could say without giving stuff away.
Well, we could also say there were colorful uniforms.
It'd be, I like it. Good night.
Well, we at least do the old Ren and Stimpy, horse getting questioned thing. Well, sir. All right.
Well,
Let's start off with, I don't know. Todd or Danny one. One of you guys that isn't familiar with the comic.
That would be me.
yeah, I ain't ready to do.
Oh, you hadn't read it either?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's why I specifically picked you two, is I know neither one of you have read the book.
Okay. I knew who the character was going into the beginning of the season. I've seen the artwork, seen the books on the shelves, but I've never read any of them. And so for me, it was just like a fresh new universe to get introduced to, and I really liked it. I like the gradual uptick of how he's learning to control his powers and everything. And by the season finale, you think, okay, he's still a new character, but he's got enough chops to go toe to toe with certain people, but not Omni-Man. When the second to last episode, when it's finally revealed to everybody, not just the viewer, that Omni-Man is the bad guy, you're like, and everybody else is like, Invincible's our only hope. Y'all need to find a place to hide then, because that boy ain't nowhere near as powerful as Omni-Man. And you sit there and you watch basically child abuse for 30 minutes, and it's like, oh my damn.
Whether I beat you or not, you're going to need a lot of therapy.
Yeah.
Well, so you see it and you go, huh. So I guess Immortal had a better shot at winning this, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he didn't have much of a shot at all, because first time he fought him, got his head chopped off. Second time he fought him, got a hole punched through him to break his spine, and then got ripped in half. So I think Immortal's pretty much done, because they're going to have a hard time finding all them.
No, he's in the finale. He's literally in the background in the finale. They've already put him back together. He's not up, but he's laying there.
Okay, well, I missed that.
Yeah.
It's the scene in the White Room.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You see him shining a light in his eye, and his eye his pupil dilates.
That's right.
I mean, it's like the Mauler said, they don't call him the Immortal for nothing.
Now, I also liked that you didn't see. Sorry, I'm jumping in on one thing I really, really liked about the Immortal Omni-Man fight, is that their flying is different. And I really appreciate that. Because with Omni-Man and Invincible both, by the end of it, their flying has a lot more curve to it.
Yeah, it's like they control.
Yeah, their flight and their positioning in flight and how they maneuver with it is much more in control than an empowered human flying.
Yeah. Because, even when he gets home from the hospital and he's, well, I'm going to do such a... And he just lifts up off the ground and he's just, moving around, levitating. I'm like, okay, now that's cool. But, yeah, the aspects that you see in the show, even, them going back and arresting the twins. Yeah, that was pretty funny. It's like, okay, we're gonna burn our crap down and get the heck out of Dodge. And all of a sudden these dudes start appearing. They're like, fuck it, we'll just go back and get arrested. And the little smirk he gives that one dude where he broke his arm. Yeah, that was funny.
Well, obviously they like that guy, all right.
Yeah,
They've
the
never
guy
hesitated to
probably
kill anybody
told him-
else, and that he even apologized before he started roughing that guy up.
Yeah,
The second thing that occurred to me in that scene is you would never let a prison guard go back to work busted up like that.
Nope.
no.
Nope.
But, you know, you're dealing with two super strong, super intelligent blue clones, so I guess I can let that little bit of unrealism go.
There was only one clone.
Well, by that point, you don't know. They could both be clones.
By that point, they probably are both clones.
One of those guys is obviously the original. You haven't been paying attention. He tells you all the time. That's what proves you're the clone.
Yes, but the first two said that, and one of them got shot, and you don't know which one's right. In the show, they actually do look the same. In the book, one of them had piercings and stuff.
Well, that's the trick. The one that got shot was obviously the clone.
Mm-hmm. Go, clearly.
No, but I like that. I like the giant kaiju.
And the kaiju Omni-Man fights in the book is just an unimportant little one-off something in one of the early issues. It's actually a reused kaiju from another book of theirs called Venture. Because Invincible was kind of their second attempt at a flying brick book. Back around the same time period, because Image was trying to kind of get a new bunch of books going.
But you know, for all the Immortals' failure, he is literally the only one that left a lasting mark on Omni-Man.
Yeah, because for the longest, his eyes.
Well,
Because
him.
his eyes are all bloodshot from where he tried to thumb the shit out of them motherfuckers.
Well, him and the Red. Well, most of the members of the Guardians of the Globe were able to do some impact. Back in the first
Yeah, I mean, they
episode.
did put him in the hospital for a month, you know. Which is a lot better than they did in the book.
Yeah.
The difference, what I'm talking about is you just had, in episode 7, you'd had Cecil hit that son of a bitch with every damn thing from a orbital laser to Cthulhu's grandchild. And nobody had left a mark, any kind of lasting anything on him except the immortal thumbing him in his eyes.
No, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's
Yeah.
Because when the immortal punched him, you got like the evidence of like a possible bruise going to be for him, and then when he got his thumbs in Omni-Man's eyes, it's like, oh snap! Yeah, that's going to hurt in the morning.
Yeah, I'm only talking about something that lasted. It happened in 7, and it was still there in 8. Nobody else in 7 can say they did shit that lasted till 8.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
What shocked me was that they didn't have Adam Eve hit him with something, since she can rearrange molecules.
You would think with that power that she'd kind of be the big gun.
Yeah.
And she
Now
might, and the trick is Cecil sent her back to the Guardians, who he
Yeah.
was holding reserve, so he may have been planning her as, you know, if nothing else works.
Yeah, because the general consensus was, in kind of Cecil's mind, was, is Invincible equal to Omni-Man? Is Invincible a counter?
No.
Or are they both enemies? Because Cecil didn't know whether Invincible would even help at the start.
Yeah, he wanted. Cecil was wanting to kind of get a feel for where Mark was at.
Well, Cecil didn't want Mark anywhere close to Omni-Man at the jump.
Yeah. But though part of me also wonders, and I don't recall this ever come. Well, it didn't come up in the book because you didn't meet Cecil till after this fight. But in the show, I also wonder if one of the reasons Cecil had Debbie there was if Mark Turner here's some leverage.
Yeah.
It's totally the type of crap he would do if he had to. You know, he wouldn't be happy about it, but he'd absolutely do it.
Yeah.
The trick to that would be that would be taking a horrible risk because if Mark had gone with his dad, it's a dog. Maybe he'd have looked at her as mom. Maybe he'd basically,
Yeah, but if you get to the point that it's your only shot, Cecil would take that shot.
Yeah. To me, it was like, hey, your mom's here. We're protecting her. And if they started to see him turn, let's put mom on the comms. Son,
Yeah, yeah.
hello.
I mean, the trick is he's one of them guys that tends to have backup plans to his backup plans. So
yeah.
Well,
but
the trick to
he's
that
a human basically running their version of Shield. So there's a limit to how much he's actually going to be able to do against super people, other than throw other super people out.
Yeah, and like he said in episode 7, where in the hell do you think he's coming next? Yep, they knew that some bitch was coming there.
I want to know how much they pay them soldiers.
Not enough, considering how he told like
their families get paid very well.
Because I mean, good lord, I mean, hell, that one pilot that ejects and Mark saves. Oh yeah, you know. I'm like, oh snap!
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, the teaching Mark a lesson section of episode 8 was very, very brutal.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was something I talked to Jason about yesterday because we'd seen somebody online ask the question, is Omni-Man evil?
well, duh.
Yeah, and you kind of sitting there like, how goddamn slow did you watch that shit?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you know,
from his point of view and from his culture. There's nothing she used to defend Omni-Man that nut jobs wouldn't use to defend Nazis or something. I mean, it was well from their culture.
That was actually my comment on her thing. I was like, you know, I was just following orders. Yeah, every fucking Nazi in the Nuremberg trials used that. Yeah, it don't work.
Yeah.
Well, he was just part of his military. Well, he was just doing this. Yeah, you know, if that was your mama on that train, he's evil.
That's somebody that liked the Nolan character up early.
Yeah.
And is probably to themselves trying to defend why they still kind of like him as a character.
Yeah.
And the reason you still like him as a character is he's a main character.
It's kind
all those people he killed are just kind of nameless, faceless folk. So they're not registered with you emotionally.
It also has the feel of the Sharon Carter's power broker thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has that whole, because, you know, once there was the obvious reveal that she was a power broker, the next thing was, well, she must be a Skrull. No, she could just be fucking evil.
Yeah, they could just be making her evil. I mean, she could be a Skrull, but so could anybody else, so, you know. But all right, let's roll it back for a second. Taylor, as you being like myself, being pretty familiar with the books, actually probably more familiar because you actually read the entire run. What have you thought of the show overall?
Show overall has been good, and it really feels like it's changed slightly in ways that I like. Overall arcing. Because in the books up to this point, Debbie's just there. She's not really a character. She's just there to be the mom of Mark.
And she's kind of the stereotypical, good mom. But
yeah. She's still a parent, and she says parent things in the comic. But in this show, she was already doing realty, or already a realtor, where in the comic, she doesn't do that for still a while after this. Like, she just existed as a character in the book until Omni-Man does bad things. And then she's left as the only parent, and then you get her doing some stuff, some characterization.
Yeah, they went ahead and fleshed her out. Is what you're saying.
Well, she got fleshed out, and she had a somewhat important role of discovering what happened.
Yeah,
because for all everyone else was doing, they only had speculation. She went and grabbed the suit and found evidence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was a relevant, important character, and I like that because in the comic she just wasn't.
I think I'm like
at this point.
I think I'm like you. I think I'm kind of liking the show better, though. As I've read or listened to, I can't remember if it was somebody online, another commentator, kind of pointed out this is kind of their Kirkman's second bite at the apple in this story, and the story in the show is coming off like it's a little better put together.
Yeah, in the book,
some of this stuff, it's like he might not have had it completely planned out ahead of time. Where this time, it's like he's gone back and everything's kind of set up a little better. Because you mentioned Debbie not really having a personality until after this fight. But it's after this fight that's the first time you see Cecil in the book. You know, the first time you see Cecil You know, Omni-Man's in communication with somebody. Mark knows, he's got an earpiece and he talks to somebody sometimes.
Yeah.
But you don't see Cecil until Mark's in recovery.
In recovery the first time or the second time?
No, from the Omni-Man fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the comics also, Mark got a little less tore up from Battle Beast.
Oh.
No, I mean he's still flatly lost, but he was not like ripped asunder as hard as he was in the show. Also, Battle Beast looked sillier in the book at first.
Yeah, I think the version you got of him in the show is kind of the version you had of him later in the book.
Well, no. Midway through the book.
Yeah, fair.
He had... Well, I don't want to spoil it because if they do more of the Netflix show.
Yeah. We're spoiling this season, not stuff that might be coming up.
Yeah.
But we seem to all be in agreement, that they've done a really good job with this show.
I don't like some of the detailing they've done for the show, but the show itself, the writing, I've liked.
What details have you not cared for?
They've had some bad 3D CG for when they don't want to draw people running from stuff. They do little 3D models, and I can tell the difference real quick and go, that's CG and it doesn't really fit in the scene because the background is drawn. Background is not also CG. The background is drawn, but the characters are CG, so it doesn't mesh well. But that's only in like group shots and people running from things, not any of the characters. And in details, as Omni-Man leaves Earth, the blood should not have all gone away. Some of that blood is Viltrumite blood that can survive that heat.
Oh, that's a very minor detail I'd missed. You're right.
Well, when you're going into the detail of blood burning off to show how cool a person is flying in space, you need to also know the detail. The reason they're flying through space is they're an alien who just beat the crap out of another alien who is declared as practically 100% Viltrumite.
Yeah. You make a fair point there. At the time, I just took it as a reference because they never really covered it in the show. But in the book, Nolan mentions one, in talking with the tailor, they mentioned that Nolan goes up into orbit to let the solar radiation clean his suit. Because I forget, Debbie either shrank it once or, washed it with, I forget what, I think it was that she shrank it one time. So now
Miss washed it once. Yeah.
So he goes up and, the solar radiation clean, burns everything off the suit or whatever. I was thinking of it as a reference like that. And, it was just something they were doing to be visually neat. But you make a fair point. Mark's blood should have still been there.
Which I feel like if you saw just some of the other random blood burn off, but not the fists, I think it would have left a better impact for me. But anyway, it was small details like that I saw.
So basically, we can nitpick little stuff, but
I can nitpick. I love the fact that Cecil just decided to have a chat. Also, that was episode 7, but
yeah.
Still, just it takes a strange kind of courage to go up to someone who can literally catch you halfway through a teleport. If you're not paying the best attention to how fast he's going.
Well, even in the book, Cecil didn't lack for kahunas. It was it's where he drew his moral lines that you had to worry about Cecil sometimes.
Well, I'm going to ask this since y'all have both seen all the episodes now. Were there any characters in the show that weren't in the books?
Shrinking Ray's gender swap, which had me confused for a little while.
Well, Shrinking Ray also in the books was very, very unimportant.
Oh, yes, extremely. Not that she's been super important in the show so far, but you've seen her a little bit more.
Yeah.
But when she first popped up in the show, I was like, who is this? I don't remember this. And then poking around at some artwork for one of our previous shows, actually, I ran across a picture of it. Oh, I do remember that guy. and it was a guy in the books. That's one of the things that threw me off. Okay.
How about Robot? In the books, did they portray him like they did in the show?
Pretty much the storyline's been a little more compact with him.
And Rudy's tube form looks different. It's
worse because he looked like chewed.
They just went with a little bit different style.
Essentially the same. I mean,
well, they went with like the generic giant forehead, super genius.
Well, yeah, that is true.
In a tube, in the comics.
But other than that, the fact that he used the robots as drones and that he had multiples of them, what he was wanting the Maulers to do for him, all that was pretty much the same.
Now, to be fair, though,
his clone to kill him.
In this show, at least, he's a little bit less vindictive against Rex.
Yeah.
Because in the comic, he just flat out does not like Rex. He doesn't say it, but like the only reason he picks Rex is because Monster Girl likes Rex. But like the way he gets the blood sample and everything's a little rude in the comic.
Does he have Rex's powers as a kid in the books?
No.
Do you know how Rex got his powers?
No.
Okay, I didn't think the show commented on it.
Nope, they don't, and don't comment on it here because they might tell you.
Yeah,
fair enough.
The backstory to it isn't plot relevant; it's just character relevant.
Still.
Yeah, I won't say anything about it, but
and of course they've already announced that they're they've already greenlit season 2 and 3, which makes me happy.
Oh, that's good. Oh, also one more small detail in the telling of Nolan's actual history.
Mm-hmm.
They used Viltrumites from the comic in those scenes, and I liked that.
Yeah.
Now,
but that was so when they show up later, people go, "Oh, okay, I've seen that."
Yeah.
Following a bunch of the artists on DeviantArt, I recognized two of the characters that I know appeared in the books. One was the kind of chubby fat guy with the bald head with the white hair on the edges, and then one of the females.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as knowing who they are, got no clue.
Yeah. Well, they're nobody yet. Yeah, right now they're just random
generic background aliens. Yeah.
Would saying their name be a spoiler? Because to know their name, you'd have had to have already read the comic.
And their name isn't going to be a secret in the show when they do show up. So
yeah.
So no, I wouldn't count that as a major spoiler.
Okay. I won't say it for Todd's sake, but
it is. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm more interested in like listeners or something. Me, hell, I call up Jason all the time and go, "What in the hell's happening next?" Well, it'd be spoilers. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Fair enough. See, also in the telling where they talk about conquering worlds, I love the fact they showed Alan the alien's world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because then once he shows back up and talks about his life with Mark, it has that visual callback of him talking about how his people had to survive. And you can think and go, oh yeah, I just saw the picture 15 minutes ago of his world being destroyed.
Yep.
I like when Mark was talking with him and he's talking about the coalition of aliens or whatever they called it. How, you see the one batch of aliens that showed up on Earth in the first or second episode. And it's like, oh, not all of them died apparently. Because they look like they building for round 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Phylaxians?
Yeah.
Or Flaxian? I forget what it's called.
Flaxians, I think.
Flaxians,
yeah. Mars is still all fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, that last little vignette or little montage there was just showing you all the threats that Earth's still dealing with.
Yeah. Oh, I got what it was. It was just wow, he really lived.
All right, so for you two that aren't familiar with the story, what are you wanting in the next season? We'll use that as our wrap up.
I do not have real expectations story wise. One of the things I liked about this season was the damn quality of fucking guest voices they had on that damn thing.
Yeah. Well, hell, just
Dude, it was freaky the amount of famous folks that came in there really to do just like fucking grunt work.
Yeah.
Well, you got a lot of comic book geeks in Hollywood, so
Yeah, the actors and actresses that they got to do the main roles, I thought, like Cecil. I watch him on a sitcom, the actor on a sitcom, The Last Unicorn, or the Unicorn, or whatever the name of it is. And he plays a great good guy or he plays a great bad guy, whatever. He's one of them character actors.
I have never seen Walter Goggins play a decent person.
Watch The Unicorn. I've seen him
Probably not.
I've seen him in that, and then I saw him in some rom-com movie years ago that Jennifer was like, "Oh, that's what I picked this weekend." All right,
He usually plays some flavor of racist, and he has the largest teeth of any human I've ever seen.
Yeah, he does. But when he started voicing Cecil, I'm like, okay, I know exactly where I'm standing with this dude because his voice, it's like it matched. Like he sat there and watched that animation and then did the voice work. It's like,
but see, there's one thing to get Walter Goggins, who is basically a character actor. There's another thing to get Miss Sharala Ali, who's got a goddamn Oscar, to come out here and do a character that you've seen all the fucking twice.
Yeah. There's
the fact that the Guardians were voiced by all of them were alums of The Walking Dead.
That's because their buddy was doing one of the main voices. That's kind of easy to rope them in for that, probably.
But that's still damn neat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yes, it's still extremely neat.
Like I said, they got Jaimin Hunsu barely even speaks English in the damn thing. Because he was the leader of the aliens that come through that age funny.
Yeah.
And he was the leader of the aliens on Mars.
Oh.
So they literally, Michael Dorn is Battle Beast.
Yeah.
I mean, they went
all
up
out,
in getting famous people to do fucking voices on that damn thing.
Now,
all right, Tyler, is there anything you want to see in the next season? I mean, try not to be spoilery because me and you, we have stuff we're expecting.
Yeah. There's a character in the comics that has a traveling ability that I was hoping to see in the background of this season, but I did not see him. Because his whole thing is like he runs through dangerous situations all the time. But I just didn't need to see him in the background, and I was kind of saddened by it.
I wouldn't mind seeing some of the cameos from other characters.
I'd love to see Spawn show up. That'd be great.
You probably won't see him. Now, the guy that does Savage Dragon has said he's open to letting Savage Dragon cameo. I know you used to have... I want to say in the early book, Super Patriot showed up a few times, or whatever their Patriot character was called.
Also,
Cyborg, because Debbie and his wife have conversations about being the normal folk, married to supers. But as the Invincible book progressed, you had less and less cameos from other Image characters. It just kind of went off in its own direction. Pardon?
Invincible crossed over with Marvel too, because that's literally the only book that I've ever had with the character in it. It was back.
Yeah, I seriously doubt Spider-Man's gonna show up in the show at any point.
You never know. Also, kind of a horse.
There's also technically a cameo by Batman.
Kind of, yeah. Enough to not be copyrighted.
Yeah.
Infringing, but yeah. But all right, we'll go ahead and wrap here.
Also,
I think it's safe to say everybody here, is looking forward to the next season.
Yeah.
one last thing is I
Even
do want to see
Jennifer's looking
Science
forward
Dog.
to it.
Do what
What
now?
is that?
To which one of us?
What was that, Taylor?
You go ahead, Danny. Oh, never mind. Then I'll go. I do hope
Well,
to see Science Dog next season.
That's one thing I'm disappointed I have not seen much of in this one. Was you haven't seen his obsession with Science Dog.
What I was going to say is Jennifer watched the whole season with me, and even she's looking forward. When I told her, "Oh yeah, they've renewed it," and she's like, "Oh good, I want to see some of these characters." She made the comment, and I was thinking it. She wants to see some like how they carried them two twins back to the lockup. Well, when they got out, he just kind of like waved at the folks as they left. She wants to see some of those villains because they looked interesting to her. So I'm like, okay,
I think some of them do pop up.
I would have to go back and look at it again.
Well, I'm thinking of one in particular because I know who one of them was.
The multiple Asian guy.
Yeah. But so anyway, if you watched Invincible and enjoyed it, or hated it and have reasons you want to give, you can comment below. You can reach us at the nerdattornal@gmail. You can leave a comment on our website, nerdattornal.com. If you'd like to support the show, we have a shop. Again, just go to nerdattornal.com. Anything you buy would, help us improve our equipment. Basically, just help us produce this show and the other shows we do here on the network. Any help is, of course, appreciated. If
you're watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe.
You can do that for
All
free,
that
and we
free.
still appreciate it.
yeah. Send out links to your friends. Send out links to your enemies. Just send out links.
I hate you. Watch this.
You got that annoying cousin, that annoying uncle. Send them a link.
Anyway, so we'll see y'all next week. Again, I have been the experience of some called Jason, and with me has been
Blurred Dawn of the Ville, the Todd Father.
CVO113, the droid you're looking for.
The token Blood on Everest, Tarky.
and we'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.